Straight ahead on Falcon Weekly, a rock slide shuts down a major roadway in Shelby County. Find out which one and what to do if you're traveling that way. Plus, a patient being treated for Ebola in the U.S. has died. See what the hospital says about his treatment. And some sour news for those of you with a sweet tooth. Find out why chocolate could be disappearing from store shelves in the next few years. Falcon Weekly starts now. Hello and welcome to Falcon Weekly. I'm Kayla Gio. Thanks so much for joining us. In Hoover, crews have spent most of the day working to remove a large boulder from a major roadway. Around 2 a.m. Monday, rocks, mud, and debris crashed onto Highway 31 in Hoover across from Jim and Nick's. The rock slide shut down the two lanes going northbound. Crews are detouring traffic onto Data Drive and then onto Lorna Road. Transportation officials will inspect the area to determine the cause of the slide. AlDOT says it hopes to have both lanes northbound open sometime Monday night, but it could take until Tuesday morning for traffic to return to normal. Get ready to bundle up. Things are about to get even colder with a possibility of a record-breaking low temperatures in the state of Alabama. According to the National Weather Service, lows across the state will be below freezing starting Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. The high for Tuesday is 36 degrees with a low of 22. Wednesday could see a low of just 19 degrees with a high of 50. Temperatures will warm up later in the week with 20 to 50% chance of rain all this weekend. Turning to national news, a surgeon being treated for Ebola in Nebraska has died. Dr. Martin Celia died early Monday morning as a result of advanced symptoms of the disease. He was flown to the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha in critical condition Saturday. Doctors say Celia's advanced symptoms included kidney and respiratory failure. Although a citizen of the U.S., Celia was working in his native country of Sierra Leone when he contracted the virus. He is the second person to die of Ebola in the United States. After killing another American, ISIS released a video claiming to show the beheading of Peter Kasig. Reporter Andrew Spencer shows us how President Obama is reacting to the beheading.
Peter Kasig once said he'd never be able to effect political change in Syria or in the United States, but in helping Syrian refugees in Lebanon, he could still make a difference.
Over a period of time, like in that hospital, I was able to share a little bit of hope and comfort with some people. They were able to teach me something about themselves that I wouldn't have known otherwise. And we each were given an opportunity to look at the conflict in a different way.
A former U.S. Army Ranger, Kasig returned to the Middle East as an aid worker in 2012. After being taken captive more than a year ago, he converted to Islam and changed his name to Abdul Rahman. His parents said in a statement, "We are heartbroken to learn that our son, Abdul Rahman Peter Kasig, has lost his life as a result of his love for the Syrian people and his desire to ease their suffering." The ISIS video shows a similar figure to one shown in videos depicting the beheadings of 4 other Western hostages. It appears to have been recorded in a different location, though, and this time, there's no statement from the victim. In Kasig's home state of Indiana, members of the Al-Huda Foundation had prayed for mercy. Worried about his safety before, they had kept their silence about their view of ISIS.
And now we can finally express our anger against ISIS, that we can say they have nothing to do with Islam, nothing.
President Barack Obama issued a statement saying Kasig was killed in an act of pure evil, saying the world rightly associates the terrorist group ISIS with inhumanity. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Kasig is the 3rd American and the 5th Western hostage to be killed by ISIS in such a way. The U.S. State Department is stepping up security of its email systems after being targeted by hackers. A senior official said the State Department recently detected what is being called activity of concern. The official said only unclassified email systems were affected. The State Department shut down the email system and public websites over the weekend to upgrade security. Officials haven't said who is behind the cyber attack, but they said it is related to the hacking of the White House computers reported last month. Some people with legal claims against General Motors regarding faulty ignition switches will have another month to file. The deadline to submit a claim has been extended to January 31st of next year. An administrator tasked with resolving those claims said more than 1,800 claims have been made so far, more than 200 of those involving a death. So far, only 67 claims have been approved, but officials say that number is expected to rise. After a journey of 10 years and 310 million miles to the surface of a comet, a history-making space probe may have ended its mission early. The European Space Agency says the Philae probe's battery is dead. Philae was supposed to keep transmitting data from the comet 67P for 9 months as it passed the sun, but the probe landed on the comet's dark side away from the sun, so its solar panels can't generate any power. Scientists say they are no longer receiving transmissions from the probe, but they did retrieve these amazing images before it went dark. The ESA hopes a rotation of the solar panels before the battery died may revive the probe later, but it is unclear whether that will happen. Christmas is just a little over a month away, and holiday music has already been on one local Birmingham radio station for weeks. But when is it too soon to get into the Christmas spirit? Falcon Weekly's Sydney Field shows us what some UM students think about early signs of the Christmas season.
It's that time of year again where the leaves are changing colors and falling off the trees, which means it's also time to play Christmas music.
Now if you get in your car and you turn your radio to Magic 96.5, you shouldn't be surprised if you hear Christmas music.
Some listeners aren't happy with it, leaving comments on Magic 96.5's Facebook such as, "Please stop the Christmas music, it's too early." But not everyone has negative feelings towards the early Christmas music. Junior Taryn Woodett says it helps get her into the Christmas spirit.
I enjoy Christmas music. It's probably my favorite. I look forward to for Christmas music being played every year when it's time to be here. Putting up a tree is like I know Christmas is coming, have something to look forward to be able to spend time with my family during the holidays.
Taryn's friend Kelly Rogers helps her decorate the tree, but is not necessarily ready to begin the celebration just yet.
I love Christmas, just not too early. If they play it too early, I think it takes away from Thanksgiving, and I don't think that we put as much emphasis on Thanksgiving as we need to.
Ready or not, the season is coming. But choosing whether or not to begin decorating and listening to music is your choice. For Falcon Weekly, I'm Sydney Fields.
Do you think it's a little too early for Christmas? Let us know on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Just search for Falcon Weekly. Now let's go to Carmela Williams for a look at this week's consumer headlines.
You may pay a little more for your Thanksgiving turkey this year, but not enough to kill your appetite. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, turkey production is low and prices are up about 14 cents a pound. The average price this year is $1.18 per pound compared to $1.03 per pound last year. However, you may not notice the increase at the grocery store. Economists say retailers are willing to take a loss on the turkey profit because customers will spend more for other items like potatoes and cranberry sauce. Turkey prices will vary at different locations, so check your local retailers before doing your holiday shopping. Of course, after Turkey Day, millions of folks will start packing into stores for Black Friday. Major retailers are pulling out all the stops this year to get your hard-earned dollars. Christina Alishi explains.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, retailers are gearing up for a battle. And here's why. Stores can make up to 40% of their annual profits in just the last 6 weeks of the year. But there's a problem these days. The shopping holiday season isn't what it once was. In 2004, sales grew nearly 7%. In 2013, the sales increase was less than half that. This year, retailers have a little bit of a unique opportunity. Low gas prices. People have a little extra spending money. So, with billions of dollars at stake, here are a few strategies that brick and mortar stores are using to get a piece of the action. 1. retailers are rolling out promotions early. More people are shopping in November, before Black Friday. So names like Target are promoting pre-Black Friday sales, and Kmart and Radio Shack are opening stores on Thanksgiving morning. 2, minimize wait times. Stores are increasing staff and mobile checkouts. Fact is, shoppers are more valuable than ever before, so stores are really working hard to keep them happy. 3, focus on online sales. Researcher NPD Group says 60% of consumers plan to shop online this year, so expect more special online and mobile deals and fewer shipping fees. But at the end of the day, these tactics can only go so far. Ultimately, what people spend and where they spend it comes down to a feeling, how they feel about their job, the economy, and how much money is in their pocket. In New York, I'm Christina Alessi.
The world may be headed for a serious chocolate crisis. According to 2 of the world's largest chocolate makers, people are eating more cocoa than farmers can produce. Manufacturers say demand could outpace supply by the year 2020. A whopping 70% of the world's cocoa is grown in West Africa, but a drought and a fungal disease called frosty pod is causing many farmers to switch to other crops like corn. New York, California, and Chicago. Those places are home to the most expensive colleges in America, according to the Chronicle of Higher Education. Sarah Lawrence College of Bronxville, New York, came in at number 1. The total annual cost for the private liberal arts school, including tuition, room, and board, is over $65,000. Harvey Mudd College is a close second, costing students more than $64,000 a year. And Columbia University, New York University, and the University of Chicago finish out the top 5 priciest schools. Luckily, UM was nowhere on that list. Here at the university, in-state tuition with room and board included is a little over $19,000, with out-of-state students paying close to $30,000. And that's a look at this week's consumer news. Kayla, back to you.
Thanks, Carmela. Remember, there's more news online 24/7. Just search for Falcon Weekly on Facebook and Twitter to see more stories and news updates throughout the week. New no smoking signs are popping up on campus. See what students are saying about them. And Dion Thrift joins us with a look at sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. Here's a look at this week's campus headlines. The American Red Cross will be hosting a blood drive this Tuesday in the Farmer Hall meeting room from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. That night, UPC will be hosting the Mayhem Poets in Anna Irvin Dining Hall at 7 p.m. Finishing up our week will be the Alpha Gamma Delta's annual event, Lip Jam, on Thursday at 7 p.m. in Palmer. Last week, announced that it will begin stricter enforcement of no smoking areas on campus. New signs have already been placed around campus warning students to not smoke within 25 feet of any entrance to a university building. Falcon Weekly's Lucas Burns hit the bricks to find out what students think about the change.
I don't smoke, but I think it's not okay because the people who do smoke pay a lot of money to go here and they should have the right to smoke wherever they want, and the majority of this campus smokes anyway, so the people who don't smoke need to just walk somewhere else or go inside or something. I don't think it's worth all this.
I think there are going to be a ton of upset people.
Coming from a guy who smokes, I really don't mind them near as much as everybody else does. It doesn't really bother me, I guess. It's just one of those things, it's a more of a respect thing for everybody else, I don't really agree with it, but I'm going to follow it because it's there.
We want to hear what you have to say. Are the smoking rules too strict, or are you happy with them? Search for Falcon Weekly on Facebook and Twitter and join the conversation.
I'm Dion Thrift, and here's a look at this week's sports. The University of Montevallo has announced that it will be adding a women's lacrosse team to its list of intercollegiate sports. This makes the 16th intercollegiate sport at Montevallo and the 9th sport for women. Officials say the lacrosse program will begin its season in the spring of 2016. The addition makes the only second PBC school with a women's lacrosse team. The UM women's basketball team is off to a rough start after losses to Rollins and St. Leo. The Falcons will hit the court against North Alabama for their home opener on Wednesday, November 19th at 5:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the UM's men's basketball team started their season in Puerto Rico. The Falcons are off to a slow start after losing in all 3 games. The Falcons will continue play against Miles on Wednesday, November 19th. The UM volleyball team fell to the Armstrong State in the semifinal of the PBC Conference Championship. Sarah Guidry, who led the Falcons with 12 digs, was named the PBC All-Tournament Team, and that's a look at this week's sports.
Thanks, Dion. Finally, this week, most people say they'll ride every ride when they go to theme parks, especially a magical place like Walt Disney World. With 46 rides over 4 theme parks, 2 men accomplished their goal all in one day. Disney fans Shane and Ted took 17 hours and walked 22 miles to ride all the rides. They tried once before and couldn't finish because of rain delays, but with time management, single rider lanes, and fast passes, the duo says they hit every single ride. That's all the time we have for this week's show. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to check out our Falcon News Network blog. The web address is on your screen. We'll see you again next week.